Good afternoon, and welcome to the Smithfield Town Council meeting, July the 1st, 2025. Let's please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business, we have a closed session pursuant to 2.2-3711A3 of the Code of Virginia.
Mr. Mayor, we need a motion to go into a closed session for the purpose of discussion of the acquisition of real property to be held for public purposes pursuant to 2.2-3711A3 of the Code of Virginia.
Do we have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
We have a motion? We
Second.
Have a second. We have a second. Call for the question, please.
Councilwoman Butler?
Yes.
Councilwoman Biebermeyer?
Yes.
Councilman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Cutler?
Yes.
Councilman Bowman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Aye.
motion to go back into.
Yes. Need a motion to go back into open session?
Mayor, I make a motion to come back into open session after having a closed session pursuant to 2.2-3711A3 of the Code of Virginia.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second. Call for the question, please.
Councilwoman Butler?
Yes.
Councilwoman Biedermeyer?
Yes.
Councilman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Cutler?
Yes.
Councilman Bowman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Aye.
Just for the record.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
This is a certification that only matters concerning the acquisition of real property to be held for public purposes pursuant to 2.2-3711A3 of the Code of Virginia were discussed in the closed session.
Thank you.
Motion, someone?
Motion.
Motion for that.
Mr. Brooks?
Second.
Have a second.
Cutler?
Call for the question.
Councilwoman Butler?
Yes.
Councilwoman Biedermeyer?
Yes.
Councilman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Cutler?
Yes.
Councilman Bowman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Aye. Move to the informational section, the manager's report, please.
Yes, sir. Included in the packet is the manager's report for the previous month as well as the committee summary reports. If there's any questions, I will be glad to answer them.
Hearing any questions for this matter? If not, we'll move to public comments. We have Ms. Jackson has signed up.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Evidently, the color for tonight was blue, but as you can see, Madam Clerk and I have on the right colors. Tonight, my name is Martha Jackson. I reside at 511A Cedar Street in Smithfield, Virginia. Tonight, I have a concern regarding the 2025 Juneteenth. It was a delightful event with lots of learning and participation. To the several sponsors, would it be possible to have Main Street closed next year? There were several instances of the attendees having difficulty crossing the street because of traffic impediments. And cars traveling down the road along Main Street above the speed limits. And that's my concern for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. I will say it was very well attended, and we did have traffic going up and down, and people were trying to get across the street, so it's a valid concern. I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you. Council comments? Anyone like to speak about?
Just very briefly, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I did have a chance to go through the magazine that was provided to us. I would urge y'all to just take a look. One of the headlines in there are, "These kids are all right." These are essays by kids from around the area, around the state actually. And the topic is, if I were mayor. And if you read in there, and just take, not to steal the thunder, if you read the issues that these young people bring up, they're not unlike the issues that we're confronted with at every meeting that we deal with here. So just make sure it's worth the read. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? If not, we'll move to the consent agendas. We have a C1, ordinance to amend the town code. Darren Cotton?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have an ordinance to change our water connection fees and sewer connection fees. Are there any questions about that? I don't think we had any questions at the committee's meeting.
Hearing none, we'll move to C2, is invoices over $20,000. Mr. Brooks?
Yes, sir. We have 7 invoices over $20,000 for consideration for payment. Lewis Construction, $59,872. Lewis Construction, $35,320. Blair Brothers, $21,900. Blair Brothers, $200,800. Virginia Control and Electrical Services, $41,918.73. Athens Building Corp., $99,455.58. And finally, Isle of Wight County, $500,000 even.
Any questions for Mr. Brooks? If not, need a motion to approve the consent agendas as presented.
So moved.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second. Call for the question, please.
Councilwoman Beavermeyer,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Cutler,
Yes.
Councilwoman Butler,
Yes.
Councilman Bowman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Aye. Then we move to the action section. We have a public hearing. Mrs. Clary, can you speak on this, please?
Yes, thank you. Good evening. This is just bringing our notice requirements in line with state code that was adopted July 1st, 2025. It would change the advertising time from, instead of the 7 days, it would bring it back down to the 5 days for that second notice before the meeting. Thank you.
Any further questions to Ms. Clary? If not, I'll open the public hearing. No one has signed up. I'll close the public hearing. Need a motion to approve the zoning ordinance.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the zoning ordinance text amendments on publication requirements.
We have a motion. Do we have a
Second.
second? We have a second. Call for the question.
Councilman Bowman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Butler,
Yes.
Councilman Cutler,
Yes.
Councilwoman Beavermeyer,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Now we move to new business. This is the I'm sorry.
At the minutes.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I went over that.
Mr.
Approval
Mayor
of
and
10,
members of
yes.
council, we need a motion to approve the minutes as presented. I've reviewed them and recommend they be approved as presented.
So moved.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Call for the question.
Councilman Cutler,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Yes.
Councilman Bowman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Butler,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilwoman Beavermeyer,
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
We move to new business. We have a resolution to appropriate funds. Michael Stallings, could you talk to that, please?
Yes, sir. Included in your packet is a resolution that would appropriate funds from the fiscal year that ended last night at midnight into this year's fiscal budget. As you may recall, our police department's, their emergency response team, or ERT team, currently uses a van that is no longer functional. We had originally budgeted and planned to replace this van through our enterprise lease program that we do for all of our other vehicles. After evaluating that proposal, we identified that we had sufficient cash that was saved in the police department budget over this last fiscal year through positions that weren't filled and other savings to actually pay cash for the vehicle, and this will in turn save us about $50,000 in interest payments. So the cost of that replacement van is $238,600. So this resolution would take those funds that were remaining in last year's budget, move them into this year's budget so that we can pay cash for that vehicle. We would be buying this through an existing state contract, so that's how the mechanism we would use outside of enterprise. And it is actually sitting on the lot up in Northern Virginia, so we would actually be able to take delivery pretty quickly. If there's questions, I would be glad to answer them.
Mr. Stallings, I'd like for the chair of the safety committee to comment on this about the needs and so forth.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have had an opportunity to review the PowerPoint that was provided by the Smithfield Police Department, also as being the former chief of police, and also a former member of the state police tactical response team. I've had some experience with what these guys deal with, men and women that are on the team. The days of falling out of 3 cars, police cars, and conducting the very hazardous duties that they do have long been gone. And in this day and time, one of the most hazardous times that you can deal with is when you first start to exit the vehicle. I think it proves that we live in really, really dangerous times now by virtue of what happened out in Idaho with those two firefighters that were ambushed. And I just really believe that this, after talking with the town manager, realizing that this vehicle will last us up to 15 years, is what I've been advised. I looked at the specs on it, and I believe it's a very, very valid expense for the protection of the men and women that protect us. And I would urge council to support this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman. As far as finance end of it, Mr. Brooks, do you have any comments?
Yes, sir, I do. I actually spoke with Michael earlier about this. And from a financial perspective, the van that we had and that we were going to try to retrofit, fix, et cetera, quite old. And in my mind, that's possibly throwing good money at bad. Now we've got the opportunity to buy a brand new unit, spec the way we want it, at a price point that is fantastic. And the fact that we can pay cash and avoid the financing of that over several years really seems like a gem to me. And the fact that it fell in our lap is very unusual when it comes to equipment, as we know. So it has my total support, and I believe that financially that this is the prudent thing to do.
Well, Mr. Riddick, do we need to make two motions for this, to approve the resolution and then let them spend the money on the truck that they're buying, the van?
The resolution includes the language that authorizes
Okay,
me to
okay,
sign.
good. All right. Well, we just need a motion now to approve the resolution to appropriate the funds.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion that we adopt the resolution that states resolution appropriating the sum of $238,600 from the unappropriated fund balance of the general fund to the fiscal year 25-26 Police Department operating budget for the purchase of the emergency response team vehicle. Thank you.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further questions? If not, call for the question, please.
Councilman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Bowman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Beavermeyer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Butler?
Yes.
Councilman Cutler?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Now we have a Town of Smithfield engagement letter. Michael, can you speak to that, please?
Yes, sir. This is our annual engagement letter with our auditors. We do this every year as we prepare for audit season. The amount included in for their fees is the budgeted amount we have in our budget moving forward, so everything is in line. It would just need council approval for us to sign it and move forward with our auditors again.
Do we have any questions for Michael at this time? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the engagement letter?
I'm sorry, maybe I need to refresh or something. Was it on the agenda?
Yes. It got added
It was
earlier
an addition.
today. So since the amount of their services is $40,700, it's in line with our annual contract with them as well as what we have budgeted for this upcoming year.
Is this the same audit that we got presented several months ago?
Yes, sir. We have that firm under contract for up to 5 years.
Any other questions?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to direct our town manager to sign the engagement letter for Robinson Farmer Cox and Associates for auditing services.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, can you please call for the question?
Councilman Bowman?
Yes.
Councilman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Cutler?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Butler?
Yes.
Councilwoman Beavermeyer?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
At this time, we'll move to old business. We have a discussion item of the physical impact analysis. Michael, can you speak to that?
Actually, I'll speak to that, Mr.
Okay,
Mayor.
thank you.
If you don't mind. So I would like to make a motion to table this. I did make the motion that we allot these funds in the past, but due to the county study that's coming out, I think that we should wait for the final study and look, because the cost of this study is pretty large, if you notice, about almost 50 grand. And let's see what the results of the county study are, and then make an assessment is that adaptable to the town, or do we need our own study? I just think that'd be more prudent. And in the meantime, though, I think it would be useful, again, spending such an amount of funds on a study. It may be useful if we individually kind of brainstorm on what would be the outcome. I think, we need to fund the study, thinking about a policy outcome that would result from the study. So I'd welcome any ideas. I have a few of my own when we regroup next month to discuss this. But and then if there's any questions, I have a couple specifically for the consultant. What other policies have towns that they've worked for in the past? Policies that they've enacted, just for some examples, because they had a whole list of national and Virginia localities that they'd worked with. So I think that might help us in decision making.
Mr. Riddick, I don't think we need a motion to, this is just a discussion item, so,
There's really no action to be taken.
right,
so-
yeah. Okay, any other further discussion or
If I may,
questions?
I
Yeah.
did hear from the county today that they received the final copy. They were going to go through and do a review of it to make sure there were no glaring errors. And then as soon as I get a copy of that, I will provide it. So they did finally get their final copy today.
Great timing.
Any other further discussion? If not, meeting adjourned. I'm sorry.
One other piece of old business. Had a discussion with our town manager the other day about how far along we may be with the discussions between the folks at Red Point Tavern and Mr. Stallings, so I've asked him to kind of bring everybody up to date on that.
Yes, sir. Based off the conversation, the last time council discussed this, I did have conversations with the folks at Red Point Tap House. They have said that they agree in concept to the proposal that was made, so we have engaged our engineers to do the right-of-way evaluation so that we'll know what that right-of-way in front of their facility, what the value of that is. So that work is ongoing, and as soon as we get that study or the number back, we'll be able to move forward with taking that proposal and finalizing it. But I did talk to them again today, and they did say that they were in agreement in concept. We just have to see what the numbers are as far as the value of that right-of-way land.
Thanks, sir, for that update.
Yes, sir.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Were we in agreement to give them credit toward what that right-of-way is gonna cost, even though the bike trail, we don't know when that'll happen?
That was the concept. The council has not formally agreed to anything at this time, but that was the proposal put forward that I was directed to go and negotiate with the Red Point Tap House folks on.
Our staff is doing the proposal.
We have an engineering firm doing the official evaluation of what that right-of-way is worth,
How much is that costing us?
about $3,700.
Any other questions? Hearing none, meeting adjourned.